out there. People are out there. I look a hot mess, and I'll explain. I already watched the episode. So this is the review for Ready to Love, season 4, episode 6. I already watched episode 7. I have some things to say. So I'm going to get through this this episode as quickly as I can because I stopped. I'm in the process of washing my hair right now and cleaning, and I was like, I have to stop and record the next 2 videos because I don't know. The show is turning. Let me just get through this season 6. Let me show episode 6 some respect here. So season 4, episode 6 is called Opposites Attract. And again, the ball is in the women's court. The ladies are coming together and they have like this cute like black animal print. They come to the ladies' lounge looking really cute. It makes me really want like a cheetah print dress. Like I need one because I'm about to go to Vegas soon. Safely. So Tommy said we're officially halfway through the process, which makes sense. I think that's 6 women, 6 men, yeah. And it's going to get down to 3 women, 3 men. So the women's mission is to go out on a date with, first off, Tommy has the women close their eyes and think about their number 1. And as I think about that, Tommy's like, hold up, you're not going out with your number 1 this week. You're going to go out with your number 2. This week you're going to go out with your option. You're going to explore. He said that, like you may be single because you keep picking the wrong men. And goes back to my point. The women have like the harder purposes, the harder jobs each week. The men just had to go to a masquerade. They don't really have to do much. But the women have to do all this like extra work to get, to dig deep into these relationships. Let me know if y'all see the same or not. So he's just wanting the women to explore their options. So from there's a couple of dates that I'm going to discuss here. First one was Alexis and Ron. So Ron is her number 2, but Alexis is his number 1. And all I got out of this date was that, let's see here. Ron says he sees the ability to grow more with Alexis because Chrysanthemum is his typical type. She's very, she's pretty, but she's very probably surface level and doesn't have a lot to offer. But with Alexis, he sees himself growing into that man role, like just building something sustainable with her. And that's all I got out of that episode. Again, I'm just like, some of these weren't that, because these are their number 2s. Some of them weren't really hitting it off for me. The next date was Amber and AJ, and they were having smoothies on a bench. Oh, okay. Alexis and Ron went mini golfing. I would never go on that date. Don't you ever take me mini golfing? Boring ass shit. Anyways, Amber and AJ went to have smoothies on a bench. Amber gave him AJ the 3rd degree because AJ thinks he's a pretty boy, and I thought he is that dangerous combination of chocolate mold, musician. He's tall. And he doesn't feel like she feels like he doesn't have to work for anything, which I see too, kind of sits back and ladies just come to him. And so Amber calls him out on that. She's like, you have a very playboy vibe and I'm not going to be doing the work to, to get your attention. After the conversation that Amber says she's not feeling AJ, and she realized, and AJ's thinking like, oh, if I'm giving off this vibe, I might be at the bottom soon. I need to like change my ways. So that's what we got out of that date there. Next date was Chris and Chris. And then, again, another blonde date. They ended up talking. Chrysanthemum brought up her parents again and how her mom wanted to have this Italian baby. So she didn't really get to meet her dad until recently, and she said he's pretty cool, whatever. And she didn't really grow up around an affectionate family. Like her mom's not really affectionate, which I can see for her. She's very prickly and she's very standoffish. And then Chris brought up his family, family dynamic again. And so they're just trading parent stories. KG is very good about reading, energies and with Chrysanthemum, he's like, I feel like you're 70% in and 30% out. And she's like, yeah, I agree. And so like they decided not to make it feel so forced. So I think they're probably more on like a friend vibe. They're not going to force themselves to like date each other to see what the connection is. Next one was a random one. Was Amber and Joelle. Joelle. I ain't doing that anymore because I saw the next episode and I got some words. I got some words. So Joelle walks up to Amber and he asks her permission to give her a kiss on the cheek. And she's like, oh, okay. She's like, well, we'll see if I give you a kiss at the end of the date, at the end of our date here. She asked if he's kissed anyone else. He's like, no. Um, and he asked her about like how does she feel fitting in with his family, with the situation that he's a widower with two children. And she gave, she's like, I'm not trying to replace anybody, but that she understands, but she loves kids, so she'll find her way, to fit within that. And Joel's like, he's like, I'm usually not checking for 31-year-olds, but Amber carries herself off as very mature, um, and he's unwilling to like dive deeper in this. And so at the end, it seemed like they had a good, decent date. And at the end of the night, she gives him a kiss on the cheek. And she felt bad about it because she said KG is her number one. The next date here, yeah, I can't wait to get to the next episode. I'm trying to fly through this one. The next date here is Liz and Jason. Liz's outfit was really, really cute. It was like a one-piece like jumper, like that was like a mustard yellow, very pretty color. I would totally wear that outfit. And her fashion is stepping up like with each episode, so it's looking nice. And it kind of looked like they coordinated because I think he was wearing kind of like a mustardy yellow shirt. So they sit down and talk, and Liz brings up sex before marriage. And Jason said it would be a struggle, but he would support, he would be supportive of that decision in the relationship. Then they go on a Ferris wheel, and after the Ferris wheel, it's very, it sets the mood. They're cuddled up on the top, and the Ferris wheel's on the top, and then he leans and he gives her a kiss. And then they give a kiss on again, and this time it's on the lips. Like everyone else's kiss on the cheek, whatever. He kissed on her lips. Then he gives her another kiss as they're cleaning up after a date. So I'm like, okay, I thought David was your number one, but you go ahead and kiss him your number two. Okay, girl, Liz, I see you. You know what? It's been 17 years. Go out there, have some fun. Just go out there, have some fun. Just feel your oats, girl. The next date here is Mr. AJ and Kyra. And so Kyra was calling this the redemption date because she pulled up in her car. AJ met her, opened the door for her, had flowers. They had dinner in a private room. They had lobster. And it was just everything that she wanted. They played a game like, have you played Never Have I Ever? And at first I thought, I was like, it's like, is this appropriate for a date? But, they're just trying to break the ice. And then, which was, I thought later, I was like, okay, that is nice because they asked a question and then they were like, okay, well, tell me about it. And then they explained, they're starting to dig deeper with each other. He said he does have a trouble with communication because he grew up very independent and a loner. He's never had to communicate or share his feelings. So now that in a relationship, when he's asked to do it, it's a little difficult for him. And so I felt from both of them that they want to let their guard down with each other, but they are scared. So they still have that guard up, but they're treading closer and closer to form like a real connection, a real bond with each other. The last two dates, well, second to last one is Bernicia and Dedrick, and this date was weird. He seemed, Bernicia's gorgeous, and he said he was really into it, like he's really, was really feeling her, but at the date, it just felt so odd because they were having conversations, and she said she's looking for someone to be a leader of the household, and Dedrick's like, well, there's different versions of a leader. She's like, correct, and she's trying to learn what type of leader Dedrick is, and then it turned into Dedrick calling her tough when they were just talking about her past or whatever. And she says, I'm not tough. I just don't allow people to do anything to her. And then Dedrick's like, well, that makes me, like you're a strong woman, a powerful woman. You're making me nervous. So nervous that the date ends abruptly. The food was still on their plate. And he's like, I'll just walk you to your car. And I'm like, what? Was this like a re-edit? Like, did they have him come back and just say it again? Because it just felt so weird and so abrupt. Like, it was just random. Oh, I think that is my last date. Okay, so they return back to the ladies' lounge, and Tommy's asking them how did it go dating their number twos this week. They all go around. Alexis and Chrysanthemum go back and forth about being number one for Ron. You know, Alexa's bragging about it, and Chris Hansen's like, okay, whatever. But you know, I'm so sick and tired of hearing about number ones, number twos, number ranking, whatever. You know, it's childish at this point. Amber had a date with Joelle. She said that she gave him a kiss, but she didn't say that it was on her cheek. So I see Vernicia looking some type of way about that whole situation. And then Kyra said that AJ redeemed himself with the fancy dinner and the date. And Tommy asked, like, did he pay for it? And I'm like, that was shady. That was shady. And I thought, can anyone let me know, does Ready to Love pay for the dates, or do the contestants pay for the dates? I'm just really, really curious. I've never heard a straight answer about it from any of the seasons. So curious to find that out. Liz talks about kissing Jason, and Kyra looks like she's feeling some type of way about it. Then they go around the table and talk about who they're not feeling. A lot of the women said they're not having romantic vibes with KG Smooth, which is the one Amber likes. But then Amber brings up AJ, and then when she does, Kyra interrupts her, like, excuse me, like, and Amber's like, I'm glad Amber checked her, like, I let y'all talk about KG Smooth, so let me have my chance now. As a lawyer versus lawyer, don't. I said that deep. Ooh, my goodness. And it looks like once they brought up AJ, a lot of the women fell in line and thought the same thing. So it leads back to, you know, like, we have our 2 dates, and we have the 2 people who are at the bottom go on dates with people. Dedrick and Kyra go out, and Alexis and AJ go out. So when Alexis and AJ go out, Alexis cannot give bad news, I guess, to AJ. She's just so mesmerized by him. He's hugging up on her, kissing up on her, and she's trying to discuss, like, we have an elimination conversation tonight, and you're at the bottom, but he's still cuddling her up and messing up, you know, being all gushy with her. And she's like, hey, you're at the bottom. A lot of women are like thinking you're a playboy, you're giving sexual vibes to everyone. Like, what's the story? You know, like, he's not eliminated. He says, we feel like you still are ready to love, but you got to step up your game, you know, and put some effort in with the women that you do like. Then we see Kyra talking to Dedrick, and I mean, just to make it simple here, she says, like, you know, like, the show, like, being on the show, and Dedrick says it too. He's like, you know, being on the show, it brought out a whole new shy side to him, and he went with the, you know, he just crawled into his shell and didn't allow other women to get to know him. We're just kind of shut down on dates. So for that reason, they said that, you know, Kyra told him, like, the ladies feel like you're not ready to love, and so, you know, there's that. I can't wait to talk about the next episode. I cannot wait. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this review, and check out my other videos. I'm really just working hard here, just having fun making these videos and talking about these ratchet, classy, clashery, whatever people. So I'm going to upload this one, and I'm going to jump over to episode 7 as soon as I can, rewatch it and review it for whoever is out there. Until next time, please take care of yourself. Ciao.